Hello! We are really excited you are here. We are here with Jen Cochrane, and she runs the Facebook group Mind Her Business. It's an awesome group. If you haven't joined yet, click over there. This is part 2 in our 4-part series, so if you've not seen video 1, I highly suggest you hop over to Jen's Facebook group. That's where that one's posted, and we will get on to option 2. And she is talking about products and services and making articles that are keyword heavy in those services for your evergreen content. So here is part 2.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. So I have a few different ideas for you guys surrounding creating evergreen content. And as we probably should have mentioned in the first video, in case you're unfamiliar with the concept of evergreen content, it's basically content that is very long lasting. It has a lot of longevity. It's not something you just want to look at today, like a news story that tomorrow it's old news, nobody cares. It's kind of a reference point that people can link to, helps you be perceived as an expert, and just has that staying power on your site. So products and services, I mean, a lot of them are things that you keep on your site, but having like evergreen content created out of those is a little more tricky because you want to have something that other people will link to, not just somebody that's looking for your exact product or service at the time. So a couple concepts to work with around that idea would be number one, and I think this is the most important one, is to keep it educational. So it's not just about me. It's not just about my stuff, my accounting services, my cool t-shirt I sell. It's an educational experience that you want them to have when they visit that page. So a couple of different ways we can make that happen. How you can use your product or service in unexpected ways. And like an example I just thought of on the fly would be like if you sell apple cider vinegar, for instance. Like apparently you can use apple cider vinegar for like just about everything. And before I knew about all these different applications, you just think, oh, it's something weird that some, hippie people like to put in their salad dressing. But you can like use it to wash your hair, you can clean your floors, you can cook it with it, people drink it in the morning. Like there's 6 billion different ways you can use this stuff. And a newbie might not know about a lot of them. So kind of catering a little bit to somebody that's new to your product or your service, how they can use it in different ways, how it can improve their life, and just being very explicit in how you tell them about that instead of just assuming that they found you because they kind of know what they're looking for. Other things you can do to build kind of credibility and have a lot more keywords appear is to use testimonials or case studies. So not only does that like allow somebody else to talk about what you do and use your keywords in their testimonial, but it also kind of gives you credibility. So a testimonial is somebody saying something nice or positive about what you did for them. A case study would be, this was the client's problem, this is how we solved it, this is what they said afterwards, and they're super happy, yay. So having all of that on there might be a good thing. Another thing you could consider putting on some part of your website about your product or services would be the history of your thing. So if you make widgets that do a certain thing, like what was the problem and how did that develop over time, and what was your process, which helps them get to know you as a creative and you as a business person, and kind of help them understand that you have their best interests in mind and you're very thoughtful about how your approach was, which gives you a lot of expertise status. Another thing you could talk about that's kind of related is how you got started. So again, it shows that kind of service attitude that you have. You saw a problem, you felt like you could meet the need. It also kind of shows bits of your personality, like your methodology for solving this problem might be completely different than somebody else's. And so somebody might be more attracted to somebody with a very action-oriented, solution methodology. Somebody might be more attracted to somebody that's a little more zen and mellow. And that just really helps you find your tribe by kind of talking about your process and you personally. Other things you could talk about would be technical processes in your niche. If you're very, I said accounting earlier, but to me, it's just like magic, making numbers work together and play nice. But like why certain things are important, why certain things have to go in certain orders, just different technical things that somebody that's new or inexperienced might not know. Again, this gives you a lot of expertise. You obviously know what you're doing if you're trying to explain it to me, the little minion. Other things you can talk about would be your company values or your philosophy. And again, gives you credibility, again, helps people get to know you. And this one especially builds a lot of trust. So if I feel like your company has values similar to mine, I'm going to want to do business with you. Other things you can talk about, and this one's maybe a little sassy, but you could mention or even have a full-blown article about why you're better than the competition. So my product is superior to product B because of XYZ. Maybe they do a little bit better than me in this area. You can be honest, because even if you admit they're better in one thing, you have a lot of other things you're better at, and it shows that you're not completely trying to manipulate the results. So yeah, why you're better. You can also share your research or share your secrets behind stuff, which kind of makes them feel a little bit more like an insider in your process. And then another thing you could do is have product reviews, which is kind of like a testimonial, but a testimonial is something that they give to you, kind of with the intention of you spreading it to the world. A review is perceived as a little more candid and unbiased. So just having an area in your products, especially where they can leave reviews about it, definitely gives you a lot of credibility. So if you're not going to have full-on reviews, at least having a rating system, 1 to 5 stars or apples or whatever it is that you're selling, can help with that credibility. Another thing that you can show is your vulnerabilities or realizations that you had around it. So just being really open and honest with your process and how you're explaining it. Just be a real person the whole time you're talking about it. And then the last idea that I had around that is you can have consistently updating images of people using your product. And so a lot of people will have a hashtag and they can pull in images from Instagram with anybody that uses that hashtag. So kind of develop a hashtag and then constantly keep that fresh. And that you've probably seen those pop-ups at the bottom of web pages, Joe Schmo just bought this 5 minutes ago, and Joe Schmo just bought this 2 hours ago from Tulsa, Oklahoma, or whatever. And that you can do that, or these pictures are a little bit more relatable way that you can show people interacting with what you do. So that's what I have about creating keyword-heavy posts around your products and services. And so now we are going to take it back to Jen Williams, and she's going to appear on the Mind Her Business page, which the link will be above there in the description. And she is going to be talking about niche keywords. All right, see you there.